Assets turnover ratio tells us the turnover generated by assets of the business, total assets of the business. We need two figures for this ratios. Turnover, which we have already used in a few profitability ratios, so we know what it is, and the total assets ratio, total assets figure, which is available in the balance sheet. So going to my Excel, assets turnover, I need turnover, which is up there 698.2 and 10622 divided by total assets. So let's go to our statements. And right in the middle of balance sheet, we have our total assets. So let's write this down. Fine. So we got 127 for 2017 and 148 for 2018. This means every 100 pound worth of assets of Marks and Spencer, they generated sales of 127 pound in 2017 and 142 pound in 2018. We can comment that the performance is improving in this area because they generated slightly more sales in comparison to their assets. However, we need more data to assess if the performance was good or not. And the way it could be done is to looking at competitors' data. What you need to understand is that efficiency ratios, all of the efficiency ratios, the standards are very industry specific. Unless you compare the ratios with other competitors, you can't really make a judgment. Theoretically, this ratio should be 4 times. 100 pound worth of assets should be creating sales of 400 pound. However, this is possible where you buy, for example, you buy a machine and that machine generates very similar products, and there are thousands of examples, but let's say cups or plates or bottles like these, very similar products. So they generate these products throughout the year. You invest 1 million pound on that machine, and that machine is able to generate sales of 4 million or even more because of the type of the function that asset has. But it may not be the case in other sectors, especially in retail sectors. We can see that if you look at all of the competitors, all of the participants in retail sector, you will see that this ratio will be not as high. And another reason for this ratio to be lower is many retailers in the UK, they tend to own their buildings, which increases their asset space too high and makes the difference smaller. So most of the buildings owned by Sainsbury's are used by Sainsbury's, are owned by them, which means their assets are too high. If they sell those buildings, rent those back, this ratio would shoot up. So when you're making an assessment of the performance, make sure you look at other analysis, another competitors, and try to read between the lines as well. For example, if there's a sudden jump in the ratio, try to assess why there is a jump. So we can also say that this ratio can easily be manipulated. You can do certain things and this ratio would shoot up, but it's still an important ratio because the purpose of the fixed assets is to generate sales. So make sure you look at the competitors' data.